We are very close to an all-time high for the Dow Jones Industrial Average. Over the last 12 months, the Dow is up about 20%, the NASDAQ is up 22%, and the S&P 500 is up more than 20% as well. So everybody's been avoiding the stock market like the plague, putting money under their mattresses, and they've missed one great rally in the stock market. And we've come a long way since 2009, the real bottom of the economy back in 2009. We've come very well. The stock market, the Dow Jones Industrial Average, closed today at its highest level since December of 2007. Now, the all-time record high for the Dow Jones Industrial Average was set in October of 2007. So we're very, very close. We're about 5% away from setting an all-time high. But most of you in this room, based upon these numbers here, aren't participating in this rally. And you probably won't until we set a new all-time high. Then you'll jump into the market. That's the way most people do this kind of thing. So I'm going to talk a little bit more about the stock market. I'm going to get into a few other things. I saw another survey that I thought was kind of interesting, and it talked about if people are cautious right now, let's kind of take a look at some of their attitudes. And this comes from PNC Bank, which is a big bank back on the East Coast. And it said they asked people about their concerns and stuff like right now. And in particular, they were talking about retirement. We'll talk more about that. But it said, common goals. When asked what they most look forward to in retirement, 54% of non-retarees and 58% of retirees said being able to do what I want to do. Sound about right? Sound about right? Okay. What about a recession? 2/3 of the people of the retirees say the recession has had a little effect on them, and only 26% said, I think I will have significantly less money for retirement because of the recession. I don't know how they tie the two together, but they do. Here's my favorite one. Said, the concept of leaving an inheritance is not something most people are particularly concerned about. Okay? 58% of the people said, we're spending our kids' inheritance kind of thing. You see that bumper sticker. And then the other one, they said, optimism abounds. The top emotion about retirement are positive ones, with nearly half of the future retirees feeling hopeful about retirement. 34% are enthusiastic, and only 25% are apprehensive. So I think the mood out there is probably fairly good right now. And hopefully we'll get even better as time goes by. But again, think about all the things that are weighing on the minds of consumers, businesses. We've got business owners in this room here. We've got people that run small businesses. There's a number of things weighing on everybody's mind. We've got the uncertainty about the economy. We'll learn more about that tomorrow with the Federal Reserve. We've got the election. We've got the fiscal cliff at the end of the year, where a whole bunch of things expire, and unless they're dealt with, could be really devastating to the economy, could have a really devastating impact on San Diego County, because one of the big cuts that are mandated are in defense. And we rely desperately here in San Diego County on a defense industry. 1 out of every 4 jobs in San Diego County is defense related. So it's understandable why people are a little bit cautious in here and a little bit careful about how they are managing their money. But you've got to make some decisions. One of the things I always say when I get in front of a group like this is that there's no two people in this room that have the same tolerance for risk. Everybody in this room has a different tolerance for risk, and I see this everywhere I go. There are people in here that if they extend the maturity on their CDs from 3 months to 6 months, think they've made a tremendous leap of faith. They don't sleep for weeks after doing that. They say, boy, did I make a stupid mistake there, and that's just terrible. And then there's people in the room that say, Chamberlin, the bus for Viejas leaves at 7:30, so let's keep it moving along, okay? Let's keep things going. So the most important thing you can do individually is determine your own tolerance for risk. That gets a little gamey when there's a spouse involved, because probably the spouse has a totally different tolerance for risk than you do, and you have to go through all of those things. I'm fortunate. I have a situation where my spouse and I are pretty much on the same page on a lot of things. The only difference we have is that in the Chamberlin household, I'm the spender, she's the saver, and so we kind of have to work that one out. But when it comes to investments, we're on the same page.